Hey everybody, and welcome back again. It is our fourth interview. Yes, fourth, one of my favorite numbers, fourth. Our fourth interview in our 25th anniversary series. And today, you all, right now, I have with me, and I'm going to call her official name, Vanessa Faye Whatley. I love to call her Faye, but she is here with us today, and we're going to start our interview off with the first question that we ask everybody, Faye, and that is, how long have you been a member?
The full 25 years.
Full 25 years. So in that 25 years, do you remember us being over on 14th Street?
Well, I do, but I never attended 14th Street.
Okay.
Of course, I was like in my last trimester of a pregnancy at the time, so I did not attend 14th Street. And I had just moved back to the area from Virginia Beach, Virginia, so I did not attend 14th Street.
Wow. And I'm glad you mentioned about being in the last trimester. Because I know this, some of the people watching may not know this. Faye doesn't look like it, but Faye has two adult children, grown children, that's grown children, two adult grown children. How was it raising your children from birth up to adults in the church?
Really, raising the children in the church, it was great. It set a foundation.
Gotcha.
And it set a foundation that was grounded in the church, in the children being raised in the church. They went to children's church. They didn't do much of Sunday school, and it was all my fault. Because, me, I didn't do Sunday school. But it was great raising the kids in the church, but build a foundation within the children.
The foundation. Let me ask you this. I know I have seen a change from when I was younger and now. What has been the biggest change that you've seen with children when you were raising yours to now?
The biggest children with me raising mine until what's going on
right
now. I would say the biggest change is a respect level.
Wow. That
I've seen in children, and also that's within the children, but taking a village, but not here at our church. Here at our church, we have a village that raise our children, and the children are respectful, and they know within our village, raising our children at the church, they are to respect the children.
Right, and I know that to be true because I can remember, you probably don't know this, I can remember watching you raise Tim. Tim is her son and Tori's her daughter, and I can remember you raising them and instilling in them, yes ma'am, no ma'am. I can even remember one time you said, look, we don't talk in broken sentences, even encouraging them to speak in church. How important was that for you to have your children to be in church and active?
Having them in church and active, same thing, is grounded and instilling a foundation in them, being active in the church, and hopefully that it grounded within them and carry it outside.
Right.
Yeah, carry it outside, because believe it or not, Tim is a silent leader, and his action and how respectful he is carried on with him even now as an adult. Even within the schools, a lot of their teachers, they're always like, we just love your children. That's from elementary all the way up to high school, how respectful they are.
Wow. And so you've been here 25 years, your family's here, your mother's here, your sisters are here. What is the first word that comes to your mind when you hear Faithful Missionary Baptist Church? First thing you think of?
Family oriented.
Family oriented. So would you say that, with it being family oriented, that people who are not members of family or people who don't have biological families here, can they come here and get that same feel? You think?
Yeah, I think others can come here and get that same feel. Family oriented is like with outside of your immediate family. I mean, the entire church as a whole is family oriented.
What has been the biggest change you've seen from 25 years to now?
The biggest change is a merger of us becoming a little bit contemporary.
Wow.
We still do traditional, but just the merge of becoming contemporary. And it's been small growth. It's been controlled growth and a controlled change. It wasn't like we came in one day and like, bam, we're not going to do anything. Like it all just changed to everything changed to contemporary. But you have to do everything with a controlled growth, you know, and it changes with time.
Wow. You say that, and a lot of people, believe it or not, they ask about that, the blend. And you say, you know, it's been controlled. What is your preference? And I asked somebody else, what is your preference, traditional or contemporary?
I like them both. I don't have a preference, so I do like them both. And I'm glad that within a Sunday service, we do both. It's a blend.
Wow, it's a blend. So you have, like I said earlier, a mother here, a grandmother here. Grandmother that was here, Mother Nell went on to be with the Lord. With them being older, have you all had conversations about the blend, about contemporary, traditional? What is their feel of it?
Well, with my mother and my grandmother both, and he's laughing because the Zoom that we've had, they both when it went to a little contemporary, you know, they never talked negative, but. Not to say they disliked it, but it was a change for them. And
You can tell it, right?
You can tell the change, and it was something different to them. But as we talk about it, even with Mama and all, because with her being a deaconess, she still wants to wear the white on first Sunday and the head covers and all, and that kind of was a struggle for her when it was like going away. You're not going away, but the transition where some of the deaconess who were younger, you know, they weren't. They didn't have a feel to wear the headpieces and all, and wear all white on Sundays. So it was kind of like a transition. And as we talked to her, and it became, I was like, well, Mama, why don't you just do an option, you know, of the headband or the little top, and that works.
Right. But you know what? I don't think many people still remember the dolly that they used to wear and cover everything like that. We may have to go back to it eventually, I guess.
No, she's okay with it. You know, it was just a transition.
So you've used the word transition, transforming a few times. What is something you would like to see happen as a church? Something we may be missing that you think we need to add, or something you'd like to see in the future to happen?
Well, actually, it's happening now. Broaden it to social, just many different outlets of being in the church.
Wow.
And we're here. And I can say that because now I'm able to attend church with my biological father. He's in Indianapolis, Indiana. He watched. My aunt, who's in Oklahoma, she watches. And then I have a friend who's in Chicago, Illinois, she watches. And I have a lot of people who attend church with me.
Wow. And you know, I can say this because you were a part of our tech team. Mm-hmm. You know, we didn't really release a lot of people that were on there, but you were a part of our tech team. And that was one of the biggest pushes, going virtual. And so with the virtual and your family watching in Indianapolis, you said, do you think they get the same feel that you get being here? Or let me ask you this way, being at home, how was the adaptation for you? How did you adapt having to watch virtually?
Well, basically, the church is within.
Okay.
And you come to the building to fellowship. So, of course, you don't have
preach.
all the people, but I still get the same feel because I still have the church within me.
Wow.
I just didn't have the people fellowship.
Wow. So with this COVID virus, the COVID-19, the coronavirus, do you think that we as a church would have to implement some permanent changes, some permanent adaptations in the future?
Being in the medical field and seeing some of the changes, I'm quite sure it would be better to do some permanent things. And that would be just sanitizing, the sanitation, washing your hands, have the check stations. I would say keep that permanent, and not just for COVID-19. That could be for flu, pneumonia, all those other different viruses. Because just think, you have outbreaks in a season where a lot of people get the flu at church, or cold, or bug, or whatever you call it. So this just is on the COVID-19 is on a different level.
Wow. So two more questions. I asked you, what would you like to see change? What would you not want to see change? What is something you would like to see stay the same with us?
That's a broad question.
That's a broad question. So you know, you mentioned family. Would you love us to keep this family environment? Would you love to see the traditional blend? What would you like to see remain the same?
Remain the same. Just the church as it is.
Church as it is.
Just if everything Yeah, remain the same.
Gotcha.
With the members, of course, we're growing, and I'm quite sure when we do open back up, it's gonna be filled in here. I guess we're gonna have to get the other side ready, everywhere ready, because I think when we do open back up, we're gonna have a larger crowd.
Yeah, and I think we've been preparing for that. You've been a part of helping us prepare for that. So let me ask you this in closing. What are some of your final thoughts or something you would like to say to people who would watch this interview, or just people who would see this years from now, just to hear about our church? What are some you would like to tell them?
I would like to tell them, come join us, just give us a try, and well, you would like it. Just give us a try. You would get fed with the word, and you definitely would come. You would not leave the way you came.
Wow.
Ernest will feed you.
We're going to try to, one way or the other, physically or spiritually. You all, I am just so glad to have interviewed Faye. Let me say this, Faye. I am personally grateful for the talks you and I had. People don't know the relationship we have. We have a great relationship. I'm just grateful for the advice. You are always willing to lend a hand, give us resources, networking connections, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for your children. I want to say that I personally have seen you raise two wonderful children, and we envy you at times because just to see how productive they have become and how well they're doing. I'm just grateful for your help on the tech team, our finance team, and this church is better because of you and your family, and I'm just grateful for that. I hope you all have enjoyed this interview. I've enjoyed it because I've heard some things, and her and I, we talk a lot, but I've heard some things today that just gives me pause and something to think about. And so we're grateful. We still have more interviews to come, and so we will see you all again. Thank you and be blessed.